Alright everybody, welcome to the AD2L Season 19 group stage. This is Green Machine versus Potential Team, capital T-E. The first band, Medusa, and then Vengeful Spirit. Medusa has been pretty hotly contested in almost every MMR for quite some time. She's rather powerful right now.
Remaining.
Very tanky, can build some decent early game items. Vengeful Spirit, of course, also just I feel like a reliable hero. You have a good stun that's also a decent nuke. The changes to the Wave of Terror talents make it also a very potent skill that you can spam out AD fights, and that damage does begin to add up. Meanwhile, Potential Team banned out Pudge and then Lich to supports, most likely. I typically see Pudge as a support hero these days. And Lich, just a frustrating hero to lane against. It really devastates your offlaner, or if some teams run it in the safe lane to really hurt the safe laner as well. Either way, it can really mess up your game plan by damaging lane equilibrium in a way that not very many other heroes are capable of, besides perhaps Enigma. And now Green Machine waiting to ban out, and they'll go with the Skywrath Mage. Interesting. Strong roaming support, occasionally see it mid, good nuker, very strong silence, and of course a ton of nuke potential if there's any kind of control to lock enemy heroes in place. And Spectre, banned out by a Potential Team. This leaves heroes like Winter Wyvern available. Rubik, also very popular right now. We've seen a bit of a resurgence of the Sand King. Queen of Pain and Puck are also fairly popular. Not sure that they'll be first picked, but I do see them quite a bit. Sniper also still available, although he's probably much better third or fourth pick than first pick.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Crystal Maiden. I'll go with the Crystal Maiden. Don't know why she isn't popped up. Possibly another spectator bug. There have been a lot of those lately. Hoping this doesn't persist. I may have to reconnect to the game.
Team pick.
Well, we see the Spirit Breaker. So, even though they banned out the Venge and the Skywrath Mage, a couple aggressive supports still managed to slip on through. That could also maybe be off lane. I doubt it, but it is a possibility.
Remaining.
Sometimes you'll see that.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, they're going to go with the Shadow Shaman, so it's probably both supports for Potential Team picked up, or Potential, as I'll probably just call them from this point forward. Very strong pusher, a more early aggression coming on out. Green Machine tried to remove as much as they could. I'm thinking the way that Green Machine banned, they're worried about roaming support, and they'll grab a Slardar themselves. But anyways, I think they're worried about roaming supports that can create space for late game cores. Both teams perhaps seeing very similar theme in those bans. Slardar, very strong. Really,
team ban.
I suspect it'll be roaming, but it could be an offlaner. I personally like it a lot more roaming. Potential Team removing the Omni Knight. That leads me to believe that they think that's a roaming Slardar. I don't think you see Omni in support so much anymore. He's very, very level dependent these days.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
So I
remaining.
imagine that you would rather run him in a core role so he can get stuff like phase boost, radiance, sometimes they'll go drums. Just be a nuisance, although it would be very hard to do up against Shadow Shaman and Spirit Breaker. Most of the Spirit Breaker stuff. Razor banned out by Green Machine, and Anti-Mage removed by a Potential Team. So both teams, I'm going to assume, have their support, so we're looking for all 3 cores. Razor and Anti-Mage Omni banned out. If they're in the process of banning cores.
10 seconds remaining.
Sniper's been pretty strong lately, but I don't think...
5
I think if you're Green
seconds
Machine,
remaining.
I feel like Sniper's a good ban for you, because Potential Team can take that. You don't have a lot of... If Green Machine takes Sniper, I don't think it's that good for them, because there's a Spirit Breaker. But a Potential Team get it, it's pretty strong right now. Slardar is going to struggle to get in on him. Crystal Maiden also won't have a blink for an extreme long time, if ever, but they're going to ban out the Sven instead. That's a decent ban. There's a lot of control already on the side of Potential Team. So perhaps wanting to make sure their offlaner isn't completely shut out, but they could always go something like a Darkseer or even offlane Puck can get farm without
10
feeding.
seconds remaining.
Tidehunter also okay.
5
Kraken Shell
seconds
purging off
remaining.
stuns and debuffs. They're taking a little bit of their time, but I mean they've got quite a few options. I think Spirit Breaker and Shadow Shaman have left them in a position where they're going to be capable of playing several ways. They have a lot of pushing power from the Shadow Shaman, a lot of ganking, of course. They could go for pickoffs. Both of these heroes aren't bad in team fights. It's a very flexible draft, and now I think they just need to pick less general stuff and maybe focus more on one. I think to see some pushing heroes, maybe like a mid Dragon Knight, although Slardar is pretty good against Dragon Knight. Possibly a Death Prophet, but she's a little cautious around that Slardar too. Of course, she'll get a use, she could purge it off, and they're going to go with the Juggernaut, a very reliable core. Lots of early kill, I think they want to fight early, the way things are looking. But Green Machine definitely no strangers to the occasional early engagement with a Crystal Maiden and Slardar on their side.
Ten seconds remaining.
Forgive me, my throat's a little bit sore, but Lion. So it is a core Slardar. I think that's okay, but I just feel like with items, I just feel like Lion with the items, or Slardar with the items, doesn't do as much as so many of these other core, like so many other offlaners. I don't know. I'm personally not a huge fan of it, but it could be very good. It's just when I think of Slardar items, I think Tranquils, Force Staff, Blink. I don't think, Daedalus or some crazy Ags upgrade or something that some of those offlaners have. Even I like Axe a lot more. If you wanted to have a offlaner like that, I would probably go with an Axe. But I think,
Radiant team
it's still pretty good. And yeah, there's a Death Prophet for potential team. I really, really like that pick for them. I think it is phenomenal with them. They have so much that they can push with. Like these guys can, as soon as Death Prophet hits 6, if I were the Jugs, I wouldn't go for a Battle Fury. I'd grab myself a Yasha and just go to town, like SNY, early and mid game items, and just really focus in on those early fights, because currently Green Machine doesn't even outscale you. Slardar doesn't. He's good late game because Slithering Crush, the bash is nice. Amp damage, which I guess is called Corrosive Haze now. I am now remembering. Will help. I think the DP definitely wants to get like a BKB for sure, because the Lion she's vulnerable to burst, and they don't really have save on their team. Like they have the Jug healing ward, but it doesn't help much if you get amp damage, Fingered of Death, and that's a Phantom Lancer. So they're still okay against PL. I don't think that's like, I don't think that's the worst thing that could have happened. And they still have their offlane spot to pick up against it. I'd like Tidehunter in that. I like
10 seconds
Darkseer,
remaining.
pretty good. If I were Green Machine, okay, so the Green Machine is looking for their mid, so potential team gotta think about what they might want for that. I think Death Prophet is such a strong laner that they would need to pick something. I don't think Storm lanes that well against DP, but not a lot of heroes do, quite frankly. It might have some kill potential against her in the early game, but Crystal Maiden Lion is pretty frightening with all those stuns, so I imagine we'll see a lot of support activity in the mid lane. Definitely be
10 seconds
watching
remaining.
for those charges, the Lion and Crystal Maiden smokes. And again, forgive me, my throat is very, very sore. I did a lot of practice casting today, and it seems like it's bit me in the ass a bit. I've damaged my voice, but if I can cast after a throat surgery, then I can cast after a bit of practice casting. So I'm sure it'll all be fine. I'll just not be able to speak tomorrow. And Faceless Void, banned out by Green Machine. Pretty good ban. I don't think potential team were going to pick it, but you got to be a little worried about Shadow Shaman wards outside, Death Prophet ult going. That's pretty classic. If I were a potential team in my off, and I don't think it's good against PL.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm having a hard time thinking of an offlaner I really want, but for Green Machine, they could always go like Shadow Fiend. It's pretty good with the Slardar. If you keep your supports near the mid lane, you don't have to worry too much about him getting killed off, but it'd be really hard, but I think it does a lot of good work against potential. I think it kills the Death Prophet. It scales phenomenally well. It's just surviving is going to be very difficult. So perhaps they'll invest in something like a Queen of Pain, something that's able to fight early without fear, that doesn't need that many items, so that they can try to counter the early and mid-game aggression that Potential are going to be putting on them. They're still thinking about it. Puck also available. I think that's okay. Gives them some more team fight, because that is something that they're sort of lacking. I mean, you got Crystal Maiden and Lion, but they don't really have anything super mind-blowing.
Dire team pick.
Looks like they're going to have the answer, and they're going for an Alchemist. I'm not sure that I like that. It's incredibly vulnerable pre-6. It doesn't scale, like, it scales well, but he only scales well if he's, you know, 7 or 8k gold ahead, you know, 1 or 2 items ahead. And we'll see if that's even a possibility. He wants space. I don't think he'll have space in this game. His teammates are going to need to stack the jungle a lot for him, because I have a feeling he's going to die a lot. Potential team, I think, looking for their off-laner. Beastmaster still there. Sand King would be pretty good in this game as an off-laner, I feel like. I like the Sand King pick. I don't know that they'll pick it, but I think it would be sick. Caustic is great against PO. He has a lot of AoE. Earthshaker could also be picked as an offlaner. I think it fits with their draft. It does hurt them in the scaling department, but I think that's okay. I don't think that's, you know, a disaster, because I think they're trying to, Potential's probably trying to close the game out pretty early. Only 20 seconds left, so we'll have to answer that question before too much longer. I also don't know what this is, like why this is happening up here. Forgive me for this. I can see the Dire here as not the Radiant. Potential team picking the Brew. I don't know why I didn't even think about the Brew, but another really phenomenal pick. Early game monster, fights with just 1 item. That's really the theme of Potential. They don't need a lot of items. They just need 2 or 3 items each and a few levels, and they're ready to go. They do well with items, you know, Brew with an AC, with a Vlad's, maybe an Ags, Death Prophet with an Octarine Core, Yule's a BKB, Jugs with a SNY, Battle Fury, Manta, Basher, those kind of Diffusal Blade even. I think Diffusal would actually be pretty good this game, but he's going to need a Maelstrom this game. Molnir, a good item on Jugs anyway, but definitely need something to do with that Phantom Lancer. I want to say I favor Potential's draft, and I think I favor their draft because they're playing their own game, I feel like. I'm trying to verbalize what I'm thinking, but alright, give me just one moment. I have to adjust a couple things. Opacity 50, advanced. Click through. Perfect. All right. Taking one final glance at this, I think I favor Potential. I think if Green Machines survive their early game, they will possibly win. I think it depends on Alchemist's Radiance timing and his Armlet. If he can get an Armlet and a Radiance, like 15 minutes or so. Maybe 16. He needs to get both those items before 20 minutes, because they're around 17, 18 minutes, I think. Potential just goes. They'll probably have Blink on Brew. They'll have the first Jug item, maybe the second Jug item.
30 seconds
really well. Death Prophet will probably have her first item. No, they're not smoked. They have Shackles. Lion gonna spot them from pretty far away. He's bailing. So they'll probably get this rune. Looking at the lanes, this is a good Brew lane. This is a really good Brew lane. He does not care about this PL at all. The illusions are going to do 0 damage to him. The clap is going to be incredibly bothersome to him. Yeah, if I were this Brew, I'd be so happy. The only thing you have to worry about is a stun from this Lion and, maybe the mana drain. But otherwise, it shouldn't be that hard for him. He's going to have the dodge and the Stout Shield. I don't think they can zone this Brew. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Meanwhile, the mid, this is such a Death Prophet favored lane. Once she gets her Spirit Siphon, that's just going to be miserable for Alchemist. He won't be able to do anything against her. Meanwhile, the top lane is going to be a little rough for the Jugs. Looks like they're going to leave him alone for the time being. I don't think that's necessary at all. This is kind of hard for him because he can get right-clicked out by this Crystal Maiden. He needs to worry about the Slardar Crush. Slardar has the same armor as him and more damage, so we'll probably trade a little better. And it should be okay. He's got a support up here now. I'd like to see the Spirit Breaker up here. I think the Brew they need to prioritize getting the Brew to 6 as soon as they can, so he can just go around the map with his ult. Slardar with 2 ranged creeps though, not managing his equilibrium very well, going to look a bit of farm. Alk doing decently. I mean, it's only the first minute, so we'll see how things start to build up. Slardar pinging the Death Prophet. Crystal Maiden going to be spotted by this ward. Places one of her own right here. We'll be able to spot some rotations as they come. Spirit Breaker gets a charge, hits the Lion, just wants to bully this guy a little bit. Haha, bully. He's a bull. Brewmaster going to be doing what he does best, and that's disrupt the farm of the enemy carry, spamming his Drunken Haze. And PL, one of those heroes that just feels like he needs so many items before he's really, you know, a hero, I feel like. Alright, sorry, I am taking a drink of water, and now the Spirit Lance coming out, as well as the Mana Drain and an Earth Spike. But Brew, 9 tangos, and the Mango got a lot of regen. He's not, you know, again, this is not a bad, this is such an easy lane for this Brew, I feel like. Death Prophet, just behind this Alk and CS, but Alk, of course, has more gold. He went for the Soul Ring, gonna be able to spam out his Fast Spray. Spirit Breaker spotted, stealing the Bounty Rune. Actually, it's his Bounty Rune, but I think he stole it anyway. Slardar getting charged, now going to Crush come out. This Frostbite, not enough mana on the Crystal Maiden, and I don't think they can get killed, but he has a point in the bash. Needs to be careful. The Shadow Shaman right clicks hurt. 77 damage at level 2. That's just annoying. But yeah, the Crystal Maiden, not enough mana to throw out her Frostbite. I'm curious, did she use Crystal Nova to harass? Maybe she farmed one of these camps, but it doesn't look like a big creep is dead anywhere, so I'm assuming she used her Crystal Nova to harass and just doesn't have the mana. I'm actually really surprised she even has a point in the Crystal Nova versus getting an Arcane block early on. And Brew, really bothering this PL. Charge cancelled in the mid. Alk with the most CS. They're definitely going to want to shut him down because I think he's the key to this whole game. Juggernaut doing reasonably well in his farm as well. And it's a pretty stagnant game right now, which I find a bit surprising, as both teams have like Crystal Maiden, Lion, Slardar. Oh, but a charge, speaking of, going up top, and now it's Spin. The Crush not going to do anything. He's taking a lot of damage. The Shackle's holding him in place. That's going to be 1 kill. Crystal Maiden also getting very low. A few right clicks should do the trick, but oh, Shadow Shaman didn't right click. But the charge in 1 second, and he gets it off, and that should be the dead Crystal Maiden as well. 2 kills over the top lane. Now, Spirit Breaker on the run. Needs to get out of there before Slardar finds him, but Slardar not going to pursue.
I know how to handle such power.
Death Prophet going to be going for her phase boots, and as I was saying, both teams very aggressive. This explosive start at just the 4-minute mark. It's going to be pretty rough for that Slardar. And Lion going down in the bot lane. Brewmaster just this hero is a nasty offlaner, and it's already starting to look pretty rough. The Alk is doing just fine though, so I think it's not a complete disaster. Brew will be 6 before too long. A charge going in on the PL. He has enough mana for Doppelganger, and Lion maybe wants some vengeance. Brew's Mango in his bag. I don't know what this Lion's doing. Interesting that he placed the ward there instead of here. But now they see this Spirit Breaker coming in. Lion, not enough mana onto the... Oh, Lion's going to die. For sure. a couple. Oh, but a good two-man stun. I'm surprised he didn't eat the mango to get the clap for the slow, but he should be able to get in range for it anyway. And he pops the clap, slowing the Lion. It's another slow, and he will go down. Able to tank these tower shots pretty easily. Has that evasion and a quick kill in the bot lane. Meanwhile, the top lane, everyone flexing at everyone else. Quick and easy kill on that poor Lion. That Brew to a phenomenal start.
Dire's middle tower is in the wrong end of business.
Alchemist with level 6 now going to be so much harder to kill, but his ult is going to be down for the time. And just this Brew, unrelenting. He knows that he can't be killed. He knows that he's too tanky.
Double damage.
King, I think they know the Shadow Shaman's here. Lion. I don't know if he spotted him. The Prophet has her ult. Charge is going onto the Slardar. They will spot him flying up though. And a nice Earth Spike going to stop him. But you might pay with your life. The DD on the Spirit Breaker. One bash is probably all it'll take. And not even a bash. Just a few right clicks and he's going to go down. Currently 0-5. The Dire potential. Really showing what potential that they have in this game. Their early game is very fierce. And now Primal Split available on the Brewmaster. He could rotate or continue to pressure this Phantom Lancer. Lion TPing bot, maybe hoping to find some sort of redemption. Hangs on to him. I don't think they can kill him though. I'm actually afraid that they will die if they keep on to him like this. Oh, nope, the mana drain stopping him from using his spells. You know, Spirit Breaker Charge going to continue up onto the top lane. Going on the Crystal Maiden. And he doesn't want to stop, it seems. He can keep going. The Shadow Shaman has Shackles, putting him down, and Slardar not able to move up to get the crush off. A bash could get this guy in range. The Urn of Shadows damage and a right click from the Shadow Shaman will finish him off. So another kill. Potential wreaking havoc in the early game. And Alchemist is doing reasonably well, but I think he needs to be doing better than reasonably well if he's going to protect his teammates in this game. They're going to rely on him just coming in and dominating these fights, but I don't know that it'll happen. I mean, the Death Prophet is just behind him in CS. Charge going mid. A stun onto the Shadow Shaman. Alcohol popped. And Slardar just on the prowl. Has Crush, but not going to continue his chase. Jugs closing in on level 6 too. That's going to be really frightening. And he's got it. Omni Slash available. Brewmaster, he's fine. He doesn't care about these PL illusions. Sort of surprised to see him get face boots. I think it's okay. But I think Arcane in this game is probably a lot better because Split is such an important spell for the hero to survive. It's his biggest impact ability. Gonna get it on him. PL getting pretty low. Already used his Doppelganger. Another bash. No clap available. He has the Split if he wants it, which means he can get the Earth's Canvas throw. Get it off though. They're gonna keep diving. The Dart coming out. It does cancel that. The Death Prophet not gonna be able to connect, but another charge comes in. Some right clicks from the DP will get him. So that's a rotation. I think if for this to be worth it for Death Prophet, she has to ult this tower. They have to kill this. If they don't, I feel like giving Alchemist this space is not worthwhile. But by taking out a tower, they remove some more space, and Spirit Breaker not done yet. Wants to kill this Lion. Urn of Shadows coming out, and Death Prophet is in AoE. Gets a little bit of gold. And again, I think she should ult for this tower, yeah. Preferably she'd get a little closer to get more, like, so the spirits rotate a little bit faster. They get the fortification. They can still get it, even with the fort. Go to the top. Looks like a bit of a fight breaking out. Juggernaut used his ult already. He has 10 stick charges and needs to use them to live. He doesn't have a spin, and will actually kill up the Slardar. Omni Slash did come out, not getting any kills, but he didn't die. He will find a kill with some right clicks, and they get that tier 1 tower at the bot lane. Things beginning to spiral out of control. Green Machine getting mowed over. Look at the overall net workup. Oh, but a charge coming in on the PL, disjointed. About 4k in potential team's favor. About 2.4k XP in their favor. The worst part about this is they're actually further behind in this. Because if we take a peek at the overall net worth, Alk's at the top, but like any Alk team, all that net worth is concentrated on him. He is closing in on his Radiance. We'll have the Relic before too long. He's going out on his Jugs. Lion playing very aggressively, but it's not measured aggression. It feels kind of reckless. I think they have potential here, especially way more than bot lane. I think there is 0 kill potential on that Brewmaster with those 2 heroes misplaced. Speaking of kill potential, they find this Alchemist in the mid lane. And the most important hero in the game dies at the hands of the Death Prophet. Definitely not what they need to be happening. And Death Prophet only 400 gold behind him. This Alc wants to be so much further than that. And I think it's a bit of a failure on this the part of the supports. I feel like they've invested so much in aggression that they haven't considered stacking for their Alc. And Spirit Breaker snared up, hexed up. He stacked with that well, but he's gonna die anyway. Oh, or is he? Mass Serpent Ward's coming out. Shackle, the Lion's trapped in place, and now the spin. He will go down here. And Death Prophet with a quick swarm, killing him off. This Alchemist alone. I think they're just unafraid of him. I mean, they're going to have so much damage. He's really not that farmed when you look at an Alchemist. Death Prophet has almost as much net worth as he does. His Relic will be at a reasonable time.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Brewmaster getting kind of low. Pops and split. Looks like just to survive.
Dire's middle tower is under fire.
Ping's coming out. Brewmaster looks like he's gonna back off though. He needs to be careful now that his split's down and he is actually kind of low. He could be killed off. We're gonna pop a salve and should be just fine.
Fortune's changed.
Death Prophet closing in on her Yule's Scepter, only 350 gold away.
Radiant's middle tower is not safe.
One thing that I would like to see the Dire do is get Roshan. They could get it now, honestly, just with Juggernaut plus Exorcism. I think a lot of people picking Shadow Shaman and Death Prophet aren't willing to invest that in that, but Crystal Maiden, Crystal melted, down. Extreme prejudice by the Dire, and Exorcism coming out now. She has a haste available. I think she should get closer to this tower and quite possibly just die. You have a haste rune. Let's make some use of it. But it's like she's playing safe, doesn't want to get in too deep. And the latch. Brewmaster level 10 now, going for a Radiance. I really think he should get the Blink, but with Radiance the field is less than nothing. I mean, his Radiance won't be that much slower than the Alchemist's.
Dire's middle tower is in the wrong end of business.
Now I really think the Dire should Rosh. Master Wards are available. Jugs, however, Jugs doesn't have a point in healing. PL, Parchment forward onto the Slardar, getting a little another fight coming out as well. A Bash and Shackles. Spirit Siphon. That's another kill. 0 to 13. Green Machine struggling to get into the game. Serpent Ward's committed for this tier 2 tower. Fortification is available. Alc, only a couple hundred gold away from his Radiance.
Radiant's top tower
but I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Dire's bottom tower is in Radiant's top tower is gone.
That's a pretty good talent. That's probably the best talent in that tier for him. Now Death Prophet here in the bot lane. Has a point in her silence. Brew showing no fear once again. Doppelganger away from this Phantom Lancer. Hangs out onto the Alchemist. It's slow him down a Spirit Siphon. Onto the Lion. Clap and a Crypt Swarm, and he's dead. Alchemist ult on cooldown for a few seconds, shackled up, but TPs are coming in. Phantom Lancer is here. He pops his ult just in time, getting very, very low with his Shadow Shaman taking a ton of damage. The Concoction slowing up or stunning up the Spirit Breaker, but now the Radiance damage is here. Just arrived on the Courier, and the Shadow Shaman will die to the Phantom Lancer, and Spirit Breaker going down to the Alchemist. Death Prophet has no ult. I don't think she can fight this. The Alch ult is still going for quite some time, slowing him up. She silences him though. He's trapped. He can't get that, but he stuns himself and the Death Prophet. Now another stun coming out. Spirit Siphon now too. Radiance is starting to stack up on that damage on the DP. She needs to get out of here, or needs to get out of the Acid Spray, I should say. But a Figure of Death comes out. It's not enough. Starters here though, getting tossed up by that Storm Panda. And now Lion getting very, very low. Silenced up. Another Rock coming out. Slardar wants to do something. Gets the DP, I think, but pops her wand charges. She has a Spirit Siphon available. Pops the heals as well. And actually throwing out a Crypt Swarm, not going to latch, and they will back off. Finishing it there. Still a fantastic fight for potential, although they lose their first couple heroes. And Alc dying again. That just can't happen. When you pick this hero, it is so important that he survives. You create space for him. You stack camps for him. You let him get ahead. Sven is similar, where these two heroes just need to be so far ahead to be stronger than their opponents. This Alchemist would ideally have Radiance, Armlet, and, you know, almost his travels by now. The Armlet gives him the much needed tank ability out to when his ult is on cooldown. Probably going to need extra shove in. It's now rank 2, so this tower will die incredibly quickly. Charge going on to Crystal Maiden. A clap comes out, another strike as well, and a Crypt Swarm, and there she goes. And a great 3-man stun from the Slardar. The Slardar getting extremely low. Alchemist doing as much damage as he can, but it's not enough. He's just too squishy. He will go down with a double kill for this Death Prophet. And now the tower getting extremely low. The Spirit's making quick work of things. Respite coming out, but the Infused Ringdrop's reducing a lot of that damage. Now a Silence, a clap, a hit, and Exorcism Spirits, and a triple kill for 204. Phantom Lancer finishing his Diffusal Blade, but it's beginning to look like these next two items are going to be too little, too late. Especially on the Alchemist, who isn't #1 net worth right now.
Radiant's middle tower may need a hand.
#2, and Jugs is beginning to catch up to him. It's really... That's the absolute last thing that you want to see. And it says an 8k net worth lead, but it's probably much more than that. The Alchemist, of course, kind of fluffs things up a bit, makes them look less bad than they are. Oh, a good Yule stopping his PL. The Silence coming out, keeping him slowed up. The Spirit Breaker Charge coming in. The Spirit Siphon doing some damage. Another strike not available. They don't need an Urn Charge, just some right clicks. A good crit clap will kill off that Phantom Lancer. Godlike Death Prophet going to be going for her Octarine Core. Yes, that's Octarine Core. I always get the Mystic Staff recipes mixed up and the Bloodstone recipe. Okay, yeah, she's gonna... The Octarine is probably the most core item on Death Prophet. She's so weak without Exorcism that reducing the downtime of that ability is a dramatic increase in her power. Ward spotting out this Alk. Could try to shackle him up, but I think Shaman should have just gone in. I think if he had gone in on that, that would have been easy kill, but doesn't actually have a point in Hex, so maybe not have been able to get in range. Very interesting skill choices on a lot of these heroes, I feel like. Like, you don't need to max this healing ward, but, you know, put a point in it. And I actually think I'd rather max the healing ward over the crit anyway, because the crit doesn't really scale. Serpent Ward's coming out, another strike coming out as well. Crypt Swarm, a good stun. Shackle onto the Slardar. Omni Slash coming out. The Remaster brings down one. Looks like they already lost the Slardar as well. Phantom Lancer finds a kill on the Spirit Breaker, but it will cost him his life. And that's 3 heroes dead for the price of 1. Dire making out Bandits. Or perhaps Exorcism is off cooldown, so they can continue adding pressure on this. This game does not seem like it's going to last for much longer. Death Prophet 10-0. Brewmaster 5-0. A good stun. The Acid Spray gonna maybe try to deter them a little bit, but Shackle coming out. Juggernaut spinning forward, the Silence, a good stun coming out, stopping the Shackles, and now one Charge trying to save himself, and Shaman gonna go down in the Acid Spray and Radiance. Death Prophet also getting low, she's tanking tower. Radiance damage is not gonna be just enough. Brewmaster also getting so low, now he needs to be careful. A slow onto him, Mule is gonna stop that Lion, good play, but the Exorcism Spirit's doing so much damage, Silence on the Lion too, and now Death Prophet back to full health. The Exorcism Spirits return to her. Shadowblade popped on the Jugs. A charge coming in. He's not afraid at all. That was not where he wanted to blink. The spin from the Jugs doing a lot of damage trying to get this Lion. And they will actually get the Alchemist as well. And, oh man, they're just diving deep under this tier 3 tower. But, oh, Death Prophet should pay for this with her life. She's got no mana. Tanking tower. Phantom Lancer's there. Healing Ward, it's not going to be enough. Jugs also needs to get out of here. He doesn't have the mana to use his Shadowblade. It looks like they'll call it good at this, or perhaps PL once more. Jug can't TP either, but chasing too far is very risky. A massive gold swing though, killing off the Death Prophet, highest net worth hero on the map until that kill. But this Alchemist is still suffering. He has his Yasha now, but only 10k net worth at 20 minutes for an Alchemist is really not what you'd expect. At 531 GPM, also significantly lower than we typically see Alchemists who have very good games at. Again, I feel like if you're going to pick Alk, you have to be willing to stack camps for him and create as much space for him as you possibly can. Unfortunately, the other lanes struggled so badly they just, and I mean that bot lane matchup for that PL and Lion, there's nothing you can do. I think you just send the Lion up top and do try v try, and the PL just farms. I think you can survive that brew, but it just feels like they were outmaneuvered by potential so far. Of course, no racks have been claimed, no tier 3s even, so the game is not over. And Alk could always accelerate his farm, find himself a bunch of items, but we'll see. I'm skeptical. I think this hero plays very badly from behind, and he's definitely behind. Death Prophet grabbing her cast range talent with extended crypt form. Extra Spirit Siphon also helps her Yules. Shadow Shaman going for health. It's definitely the play, I feel like. Brewmaster with his Radiance and Tweeter going to be going for some drums. He has 200 health and extra slow on the Thunderclap. The magic resist wouldn't have been that good this game.
He's not on.
Alk is all physical. Slardar's all physical.
Dire's top tower is
PL
done.
finding constellation prize at the top tower. Fortification not available. Shaman Ward's dropped as well. I think they hard commit for these racks. With all of these ults committed, they get something out of it.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, Prophet Spirit's hitting these melee racks, getting them very low. The Shaman Ward's beating on the range racks. I don't think they can fight this. It's so dangerous. Oh, a great triple stun for this Slardar, and it's another triple stun for the Alchemist. The silence is spin coming out though, and the Primal Split gonna buy some time. The Alchemist's gonna die. Spooky Finger death comes out. The Mighty Spirit goes down, and that, or no, Slardar goes down. Crystal Maiden also dead. Lion knocked up. Alchemist forced to buy back. Phantom Lantern has arrived, but it's a little late. The Alchemist, the Spirit Sight, or the Exorcism is gone. Now charge forward. They have a stun, and now PL getting extremely low. Death Prophet gonna finish him off, and Alchemist getting healed up. And there's really nothing he can do. The Spirit Siphon slowing him down. Shaman, no mana available, and it looks like the Radiance should be enough to kill the Spirit Breaker, but Alk, I think, may pay with his life. A good two-man stun, but Brew on the prowl. He really wants this, has a Radiance of his own, but man, it looks like he's taking more damage from this than this Alk is. Alk, oh, not just barely gonna die. A great silence stopping the Slardar from getting his crush off. Now they'll even get a right click onto that Brewmaster, and now slowed up. The Yules, of course, purging off buffs such as his sprint, so not able to continue pursuit. Basically a free lane of racks going the way of the Dire. They also force a buyback out from the Alchemist, and he dies after the buyback. So devastating to his net worth, and he was already struggling in that department. Definitely going to need... it's hard. Death Prophet with her Alchemist, or Octarine Core. I'm sorry, I'm a little over the place, but... Brewmaster going for a heart. I still think he needs to grab that Blink. He's ahead, but I think a Blink would let them just close out the game. Blink, clap, split. Yeah, it's really strong. Spirit Breaker with a Maelstrom of his own wants to really shut down this PL. Juggernaut with a Silver Edge. I would expect a Mjolnir as his next item. He'll be spotted out by this ward. Death Prophet with a regen rune. Like they're just going for these shrines. I think they should go for Roche. And once they kill this shrine, it'll be quick. They have Shaman wards or Death Prophet ult. Probably the Prophet ult because she has Octarine Core. So I think the cooldown is shorter. Like barely shorter, but it's shorter. Phantom Lancer trying to get his Manta style will help him purge off the silence of the Death Prophet, among other debuffs. Alchemist also trying to get that Manta, but doesn't really seem that close to it. Can just about buy his ultimate door, but I don't know that you get out GC with shop, especially with your Shrine dead. Coming out. Charge the Spirit Breaker onto the Crystal Maiden. They really have no fear at all. The Nether Foot cancelled by the Hex. The Shaman Ward's coming out. Now the Shackle onto the Slardar before he can get a stun. Now Crypt Storm coming out as well. The Crystal Maiden getting incredibly getting killed off by the Aethershock. Death Prophet Siphon continues to persist through the Doppelganger. But the PL will escape. Alchemist may not be so lucky. He's trapped down here. Silencing him up. Silence. Is it going to be long enough for him to stun himself? And it looks like he will just about stun himself, but shouldn't be in any danger. As Dire turn their attention to the objectives. Clear out that mid-racks. And GG is called. They have no way to defend against the ruthless onslaught of potential team who just, I mean, You have Shaman, you have Spirit Breaker, you have Death Prophet, and Brew. These are all really strong early game heroes, and they really showed it. Quickly overrunning Green Machine, who will hopefully be able to rebound in this best of 2 series and kind of maybe now have an idea of what Potential wants to do and give them a run for their money, and maybe not let them get those heroes that they seem to want. We'll be right back with game number 2. I'm Nefarious, and hope you guys are enjoying the cast. Thank you so much for stopping by. And again, one more game in this. It is a best of 2, and we will be right back.